team comp. And so far, it's been back and forth. We've seen a lot of adaptation over the course of this series. Well, this is the last opportunity for these teams to show us something new or perhaps return to something old.
So, the most likely bans out of the way here. Lucian as that third ban. It is Lucian. Shen as well. So, no abusive pick here for Piglet. And for TLA, do they go, okay, God, they want Twitch first pick? What does this mean?
I ask myself that question all the time, Zirene.
Because if you leave up Rek'Sai, they're probably going to take Rek'Sai. Do you ban Twitch? Do you ban Rek'Sai? What do you do?
Yes, well, that Piglet versus Alltech matchup, very important. We've seen the weight it can have on this matchup, as Twitch is going to be the final ban, and Rek'Sai, first pick for Contract.
Already, the strat that TLA used last game, 2 champions banned out, and you can't pick Evelynn versus Rek'Sai. Talked about how Evelynn's good against Nidalee. This is the inverse. Rek'Sai, incredibly good against Evelynn, negates her invisibility for the Tremor Sense range, and she doesn't even know she's been spotted at that point. And you can see the stress here for TLA.
Yeah, this is a long series. League of Legends for the past 3.5 hours. And Team Liquid Academy still going to need to be strong if they want to close out this series and take a win. Now, a lot of concentration, a lot of thinking for Team Liquid Academy, looking for their next 2 picks. As they will try to answer this back. Looks like Gnar and Ezreal are going to be the first 2 for Team Liquid Academy.
So their first 2 picks, safe AD carry, so they can't really camp Piglet, but Aurelia's up. If Balls can play the Aurelia versus Gnar matchup, he could really punish Solo for this blind pick. Especially since Braum is still on the table now, so Lemonade is most likely taking that champion into the bottom lane to deal with the Ezreal.
Soak those true shot barrages.
What happens?
Instead,
Oh, okay.
Gangplank and Tristana locked in by Cloud9 Challenger.
Okay, so they're going for some turrets here. They're going for some killing power, and with the tank jungle that they have with Rek'Sai, this got very interesting. I love the Gangplank here. It's kind of difficult to play it into Gnar early because he'll just auto-attack your barrels down with the range. He's one of those few ranged top laners that actually gives Gangplank a little bit of a problem. But it's Gangplank. He's still going to turn online. You think back to Spring Split, that game where Balls played against TSM, and his Gangplank pulled them out from a major deficit with his barrel placement.
Wasn't that like a 4,000 damage barrel?
Oh, there was a ridiculous barrel in there.
Some absurd number for the stack.
It was almost the record for damage per minute.
Oh.
I believe it was the highest of that split in particular.
Well, now Team Liquid Academy, they've got to show us what they can bring to the table. Nidalee is going to be the pick. And Rammus.
What?
Hold the phone. Last second timer gone past the 0-second mark. And Rammus locked in. It is all physical damage.
That's a Rammus support?
With the Nidalee?
For stun. I think that's a Rammus support for stun.
Who the what the huh?
I think it is. Because what's Lemonade going to pick? Is he going to pick Nami into this? Well, it's very easy to kind of dodge her abilities and get in there and taunt her. If you're going to pick Braum, it's just another frontliner that you bring with you. You'll maybe get stunned, but they overloaded on physical damage here. Hai's going to have to take something like a Victor or an Azir. The mid laners kind of fell by the wayside in this one. I'm pretty sure that that is a Rammus support for stun. He's just pulling out a new stop here.
Game 5 of the North American Challenger Series playoffs, and Rammus is locked in for Team Liquid Academy.
Okay.
LeBlanc now going to be picked up for Hai, and now Nami taken back by Lemonation. This, if ever there was a time to show us something new, do it during Game 4 with the Submarine comp, do it during Game 5 to take that ace match.
So, I just got confirmation that Rammus is not intentional. That was supposed to be a Soraka.
R and S are pretty close.
Yeah. And you cannot go back. It is their pick.
Oh man,
Stunt.
they're gonna play this out.
Stunt is stuck in Game 5. They went the distance. They have played tooth and nail here, and he has to play with the Rammus
Yeah.
and try to take over this game.
The handicap of all handicaps.
You can see the pressure
Okay.
when those situations happen and you're deliberating for so long about what you want to pick. This happens.
This is certainly going to be an entertaining match. Breaking out something that hasn't been seen, I don't think in a very long... Has Rammus ever been played support? Very long time. Absolutely new, at least in respect to this year, but this is Team Liquid Academy sort of showing a little bit of weakness under the pressure. We want to know who you think is going to take this series. How is it going to play out? Will Rammus okay his way to the win? Or will Cloud9 Challenger be able to shut it down? Vote by sending hashtag C9C win or hashtag TLA win to @LOL Esports. Is it going to be hashtag okay win or hashtag no win?
No K.
No K, yes.
Still, that was no K because they didn't want it. We'll see. How is Stunt's Rammus? We're going to find out.
Yeah.
This is an awful lane to do it into.
Woof.
Yeah, completely.
Tristana Nami.
It's really on the shoulders of the rest of the team.
How's Rammus in a lane swap?
He's okay. That's not a pun. He's okay.
Okay, all right.
He basically does what other sports do and kill turrets.
To Summoner's Rift.
Oh my goodness. Stunt is going to get to show his adaptability in the most extreme environment with this Rammus support.
Yeah,
30
this
seconds
is
until
this is going to be a
minions
very stressful situation. Also, this is going to become one of those games that if TLA lose it, you always wonder, like, what if? What if I didn't have that? What if I was able to have that Soraka and affect the map in a different way? Because TLA, just talking about their members for a second here, Solo, Golden Glue, and Stunt all sacrificed a lot to go to Ember, and now they're on TLA.
Minions
For
have
example,
spawned.
Solo and Golden Glue, they both, put studies aside. They ended up going for actually trying to go pro in League. Sure, they played some games in the LCS, right? Golden Glue has been in and out, and Solo subbed last split. But then there's Stunt, who actively dropped out of college, I believe, UCLA, to come here to compete. So he has a lot at stake here. Granted, he will be in the promotion tournament. It's just avoiding that elimination match is absolutely key.
Yeah. Getting that momentum heading into the next match. So very important. Looks like there is a lane swap that Cloud9 Challenger are the ones to pull. Maybe trying to call out Team Liquid Academy and say, hey, we know you want to try to lane swap that Rammus away from us. We'll chase it down. Team Liquid Academy, keep cool, stay on that bottom side of the map, and manage to find themselves in an okay situation.
So, they have to keep it cool. They will get the lane swap. But this mid lane, Golden Glue kind of counterpicked himself here. He picked the Azir last pick into the Nami, into the LeBlanc. It was LeBlanc Nami last for Cloud9 Challenger, and then the Azir last for TLA. But he took the exhaust, see if he's able to outplay high, but he's got to watch out for the gank. It's the same timing.
Yeah, Contracts shows up mid. Flash used by Golden Glue to keep himself safe.
It's the 2-minute and 45-second gank, 43-second gank from Rek'Sai, where you just get that clear if you start on that bottom side of the map. And I think it's one of the reasons that they went for the lane swap as well, because you can't get that type of start as easily.
Yeah.
So you go Krugs, Red, Raptors, gank. Otherwise, you go Gromp into Red Raptors, or Gromp into Wolves, Red. And top side. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Elimination takes a couple of hits
Hit
from the
the Altec
turret
takes
along
one
with
too.
Altec. However, Golden Glue will be able to catch this minion wave in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Solo clears out that turret on the bottom side. That's Solo gold to both Balls and Solo. But this is going to be An interesting match. Team Liquid Academy with Rammus support got their work cut out for them.
And production just told me it's like he's never been played in like NALCS NA Challenger as support, but it was played in LCK Challenger this split.
Yeah.
But
Funny how that works out.
pretty sure, I mean, maybe Stunt is kept up to date on his Korean Challenger league scene.
Woo! That's going to be... Oh, he gets back to lane so fast!
Oh, it's broken!
Races back to catch up with Piglet, and now Piglet actually returns back to that bottom lane.
Yeah,
they don't swap it back.
Yeah, they don't swap it back. Mostly because Tristanas will get those turrets so quickly, but we'll see how this matchup actually goes. I feel like they're just going to lose this turret slowly over time anyway, but this may also be just to get Solo in that matchup against Balls and starve the Gangplank and maybe camp him.
Sacrifice in one lane might mean a gain in the other. Piglet trying to catch this CS will do just a fine job as the waves crash in for that eventual, what was to be a turret shove. However, Team Liquid Academy are able to keep it safe, and Solo in the long lane gets the luxury of taking his time with this minion wave. You can see he's already a level ahead. Pretty large CS advantage as well, though Balls will be able to catch up. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 11 minions. He's going to be able to catch up.
So you're just going to count them all one by one. It's like, what?
So count the casters and then add 6 for the next wave.
Yeah.
But Balls, yeah, you can see he's already setting up the barrels for the eventual chain. That's going to clear that wave out.
Yeah. High, though, on the opposite side in the mid lane.
That's a pretty big advantage.
Yes. So this is carved out because of the lack of flash for Golden Glue. He has to play passive until it's back up for those 5 minutes. So you're playing passive. Solo is not doing that. And this may be first blood unless he finds a clever way out. He's about to
Balls. There goes the knock-up, flashes the wall, and leaps to victory, escapes with his life.
Yeah, I like how he held the jump until he was out of the way because he could have gotten it interrupted. That's the interruptible part from the Rek'Sai. Takes some tower shots, but he does get out. He doesn't give up first blood, and that's the best you can hope for in that situation, by far.
Yeah, now Stunt is going to get a ward in that bottom lane. So far, Piglet is relatively safe, zoning away with the power ball.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it.
You think I won't? Okay.
I mean, the best part about this game right now is that Cloud9 Challenger don't know that he didn't mean to pick it.
Yeah.
They're just like, what is this go? What is this black magic?
We don't know.
Talk about not playing against Taric supports. It's like, this guy's champion pool is crazy.
Who practices all these champions? Who has the time? All right, the Cloud9 Challenger is still looking for those advantages in other lanes. It's back to even in the top lane. Altec keeping even with Piglet in the bottom. High has been opening up an advantage, though. 24 minions ahead, and now with that wave pushed up, he heads towards the top side in the long lane. Solo with no flash has got to be careful.
Yeah, Contracts has no flash as well, though. Moon has to tell him that there's guys here, and he has to back up.
Oh my god, they're going in. Solo leaps.
Oh,
they're
he got
trying
out
to
of the way.
dive. If the chain lands, Ignite, he turns it around, but stays under the turret. First blood to High. Here comes Golden Glue, level 6. He manages to get the scoop onto Balls. He doesn't have his flash anymore. Moon gets knocked up mid-pounce, but gets a kill in answer. 1-for-1 trade.
Yep, and the assist still goes over to Solo, so he'll be happy about that. It's the best that they could hope for. Again, like, this is just back and forth, very scrappy right now. This minion wave, it's kind of a bad situation because you really want to pick this up as Golden Glue because you're behind in CS, but you want to hold it for your top laner so he continues to maintain his advantage.
Yeah.
Really great jump angle there from Solo. The diagonal jump was perfect because if he had jumped straight, it would have been right over Contracts, but he buys enough time. Golden Glue gets him with the fact that Emperor's Divide has the origin behind it and originates there. The Moon gets the jump through. End up getting that kill and the counter kill, so only 200 gold difference between these two teams, with some minion waves to pick up in the future for Cloud9 Challenger.
That is keeping the game dead even.
Yeah, but this turret bottom, this is a investment in damage that will soon go over to Cloud9 Challenger if they keep up this pressure. I mean, there is great pink ward coverage on this bottom side of the map, though, from TLA. So the
Playing it
zoning
safe.
ball.
Playing it safe.
I'm very surprised that they didn't lane swap it back, like you said.
Yeah.
Just because you would have an opportunity to continue getting your cull down a little bit further before you have to engage.
Uh-oh, Moon is going to be chased down, flashes the wall, Chain catches the blue buff, and Moon says, thanks for the leash, dude.
Yeah, both. Work the flash.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where you're a little salty and you're like, thanks.
Oh no, Stunt actually snagged that cannon minion. Didn't have a Targon's charge.
Oof. I mean,
It's 50 gold.
Rammus needs gold too. Very gold dependent support.
Has to build armor.
Yeah, all of the armor.
The armadillo.
Getting towards his thorn mail.
If he doesn't have armor, he's just a dillo. You don't want that.
Nope.
Alrighty, Contracts though, looking for some action in the
If
bottom
Moon
lane.
doesn't move.
Moon's not standing. There he goes. Now he sees it. They're trying to dive onto Piglet, who flashes back. Stunt though will get knocked up. There's a tidal wave to force the disengage. Moon kiting it back. They're still taking a lot of damage from the cannon barrage, and Altec gets a kill. That means he's got the reset. Will he chase? Decides not to. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Golden Glue and High trading it out. The ethereal chains procs, and High eats a bit of damage in trade, but that is the kill for Cloud9.
Yep, and that bottom turret very close to going down. And it looks like that all started when Stunt went for a flash taunt. And if he had actually held his taunt for the dive, it would have been much better. See, he flashes there to get the flash taunt onto Lemon. Lemon just flashes away, and then he has to roll into the minion wave, and not much happens afterwards. Because you would have loved to have taunted Contracts as soon as he came out of that tunnel there, because he doesn't have flash, and there would have been no way for him to avoid that.
With that kill and the bottom turret secured, that's Infernal Drake picked up by Cloud9 off the back of that successful play.
And is this critical mass? Because
it has been in the previous
it
games.
has been. Having a 2K gold advantage has been the deciding factor in who snowballs the game very early on as well.
Golden Glue doesn't have vision. High leaps forward, flash, ignite, gets scooped back the chains. He makes it out before the chain procs.
He's good.
And survives with 29 health.
Nice shove back there. Great timing on the exhaust, and allows him to trade summoner spells and still get away. But he's still going to lose a little bit more CS. And High on this LeBlanc just seems to be constantly punishing Golden Glue, who picked this matchup.
Yeah, 21 CS lead, 11 minutes in. Piglet will shove this wave bottom, but that means that Altec is already set to catch it and clear that out. Explosive shot, so great. So satisfying at clearing out those minion waves.
This is really weird because Cloud9 Challenger have had this wave pushed up forever, being at the tier 1 bottom turret, but they haven't had their own tier 1. They've been playing in the enemy territory really far up, where you had to kind of worry if a Nidalee came from behind, if he went through the Dragon Pit. So it was very brave of them to play that far forward, but it was also great from them to recognize that the Rammus isn't going to be doing too much that isn't telegraphed. That's the biggest weakness, is it's all telegraphed. You know exactly what he wants to do at all times.
Run forward and puncturing taunt. Meanwhile, in the top lane, you can see Solo's actually opened up a 14 CS advantage over Balls. Was able to clear out most of these minions without too much of a problem. So it's about 10 when it's all said and done, but the rest of Cloud9 Challenger is slowly but surely opening an advantage over TLA, and you've got to wonder, what can Solo do if the rest of his team falls behind?
Yeah, as an ARG, you'll get your split push advantage with the Black Cleaver, but it doesn't amount to much if your 4 other members are going to be losing. And in the team fight, we may see some of those team fights where you get the 4-man Gnar ulti, and then you're like, team, where's my team?
Yeah.
Because they've already been chunked out, or they just don't have the damage or the confidence to back you up in that moment.
Team Liquid Academy now with a handicap, with that Rammus support, find themselves competing for that first place spot in the North American Challenger Series.
Here comes High.
Harassing a little bit. High, ooh, he actually double distorted forward, so only manages to land the Sigil. Contracts looking for the Smite steal, but Moon is going to try to get some health back by securing it. Solo gets destroyed by High. Moon caught by the chain. Will fall as well. There's a puncturing taunt from Stunt. He doesn't quite have enough CC time, though, as Elimination in the front. Does not have his flash. Will fall to Piglet.
2 for 1 when everything's all said and done, but hold on, it's not done just yet. Stunt, no way out.
Oh, he gets the puncturing taunt, which buys him some time. The barrel chain gets set up, but Stunt has nowhere to go.
Oh.
That's going to be a handful of kills for Cloud9 and damage on this bottom tier 2 turret.
Yeah, this tier 2 Altec, he does have his explosive charge available. He's not using it to knock it down. A little curious. There we go.
He wants it, though. Here comes Piglet, the turret. Looks like it's about to fall. Oh, it does, but now Altec, where's he gonna go?
Well, here comes Golden Glue. He's got to fight Piglet.
Oh, he's trying to, but Golden Glue has arrived, looking for the kill, looking for the reset. Dodges one skill shot, goes back in, and finally will fall. Piglet gets the kill. However, Cloud9 Challenger, in typical Cloud9 fashion, they don't take one, they take two. The top tier 2 will also go down.
And that's 4,000 gold advantage now for Cloud9 Challenger. After a play like this, doesn't hit the spear. The smite for the HP goes over to Contracts, and he gets the red buff. And then they just obliterate Solo. High's combo there. Annihilate. That was just so fast against a Gnar. But I mean, if you looked at his items, he just has Phage, and that's the only defensive thing that he even has. No like boots for MR or anything like that. It's just flat up damage and a Phage. And Stunt ends up getting picked off as well when everything is all said and done. But Cloud9 Challenger and TLA, they fought tooth and nail, like blood, sweat, and tears to get to this game 5. And now, it looks like it's falling into Cloud9 Challenger's favor pretty heavily.
Rift Herald was also picked up by Cloud9 Challenger and gifted over to Balls, who was having some difficulty with the Gnar in the top lane. That should help alleviate a lot of his troubles and, more importantly, get the rest of Cloud9 the opportunity to get further ahead. As 15 minutes in, they're up 4 turrets to 1, as you've said, and with the next Drake being a mountain, things are looking dire for Team Liquid Academy.
And both teams want that #1 spot. They want the championship. They want to be the champions of the Challenger Series, but they also want that first round bye and away to get into the double elim portion. And TLA, they're going to have to play fast and loose here and come up with something to deal with High, who's taking over this game. We saw what happened with his LeBlanc previously.
3-0-1. Golden Glue dodges the distortion actually and only takes the Sigil of Malice damage. Mountain Drake has spawned, and Team Liquid Academy currently have the vision advantage along with teleport on Gnar. He shows himself topside. Are they going to look for it? They've got a death bush set up right now in the river. But Cloud9 don't fall for it. They take their time and play it safe. Team Liquid Academy aren't able to get the kill. There goes the charge.
Stunt has flash.
Oh, he actually does get the flash, but no taunt to follow it up. High will escape.
But he got his flash too.
Yeah.
So support flash for mid laner flash, worth it every time. And now it's time to get that Mountain Drake. TLA wants something in this game because it's slowly getting away from them. 4,000 gold down, trying to make a play.
Yeah, High doesn't have a lot of mana. He eats some damage from Golden Glue.
Solo's charging that Gnar bar. Solo is ready to go.
True Shot Barrage. Looks like Cloud9 Challenger are content to trade it. Mountain Drake going to be given up for that mid-tier 1 turret. Golden Glue tries to get in there. Procs the clone from LeBlanc as Moon and Piglet are going to be forced to finish off that Mountain Drake. They secure it, and they keep their mid-tier 1 standing. Team Liquid Academy, they're not done just yet.
Yeah, and Team Liquid Academy Solo, he was pushing up the top side, making sure that he had full Gnar bar, and I think that's why Cloud9 Challenger decided not to go in. They couldn't take the poke, and they had to worry about that. Also the fact that High was really low on mana, I believe, right before that. He had to flash to get away, just because of the fact that he didn't have anything left in his tank, so they'd done the damage.
Blue buff now being gifted over to High. 3-0-1. With that completed Abyssal, working towards a Ludens for even more burst. Get some harass damage on the Golden Glue before continuing to clear out minions in that mid lane. Now Golden Glue, despite suffering during the laning phase, has actually brought himself ahead in CS over High. And the Negatron Cloak has done a good job of keeping him alive. So that weakness has stemmed itself.
Yeah, it's that first buy from Azir. You want the Negatron Cloak and another Doran's. just to survive the LeBlanc matchup. That's the typical buy. Then you buy the Nashers. Little different here is the Sorcerer's boots, or Sorcerer shoes, because normally we're now seeing the Berserker's Greaves. We're seeing the attack speed buff on that item being worth so much on Azir. But he goes for those mostly because I believe he doesn't think he's going to get multiple attacks off onto high because of that. So if you get one off, you want to make it count. If you get a Q off, you want to make it count, as opposed to having that high attack speed.
There goes the Sigil of Malice.
And the Mimic.
High moving around as best he can to look for an opening, but Team Liquid Academy are able to keep themselves in this. You just saw Cloud9 Challenger setting up a bit of a macro play, trying to pull Team Liquid Academy apart in the mid and bottom lane with some pressure from Altec, who's already completed his rune ends and now finished off his Infinity Edge afterwards.
This is like a poke pattern here.
Yeah. High is just looking to chip away at the health bars. Now they're going to try to clear in. The minion wave goes forward. Stun takes some damage. Tidal wave to zone, but Altec is doing some huge damage to the turret. And despite Team Liquid Academy being there, they're not able to follow up. Cannon Barrage slows. Here comes Piglet. There's a teleport. Solo's got half an R-bar, but on top of the barrel, could take a hit. Ooh, missed time.
Yeah, I just feel as though that was gifted over. Piglet was top side, and you had Solo on the bottom side. They walk up as 4, and it was just really easy. They didn't even have to blow teleport to do so. Ball throws down the ultimate and even gets a flash for his troubles.
And that's Cloud9 Challenger showing that proactive play that has been able to win them games. Altec kind enough to gift over the Krugs.
The nicest AD carry I've ever seen. I guess it was, hey, you can take that, and I won't smite red away from you. the deal you got to make.
Game 5, 20 minutes in.
Okay, make me a deal.
The finals of the North American Challenger Series. And they're bickering over red buffs.
Well, apparently they're bickering over what champions to select as well on TLA's side.
Yeah. Now Cloud9 Challenger clearing out that vision and taking out the extended turrets, or taking the blue to invade, and will steal away the blue buff. Altec gets damage onto Solo, but does not chase.
Yeah, and you were talking about how he has the Runeance Hurricane and Infinity Edge completed, so this Tristana build online. A little interested to not see some turret dives here, because Rammus is actually a great turret diver even as a support, just because of the fact his defensive ball curl gives him so much armor.
Well, he is only level 9, so has only been able to max out his puncturing taunt.
Yeah, it's still 60 armor in MR, though, for 6 seconds. It's a lot.
So far, though, it looks like Team Liquid Academy are just playing it safe around this new pick. This unexpected wrinkle in their plans. I will dash forward and proc some damage onto Stunt. You can see he's now completed that Luden's Echo, but now that Sun Disc has fallen. Cloud9 Challenger are poised to make another aggressive play on the Cloud9 side of the map. Piglet forced to catch the minion waves. Vision from Team Liquid will spot out this potential pressure. But the next Mountain Drake is spawning in a minute, and with all those wards on that side of the map, Team Liquid Academy are going to have to pick up and move over to a very unsafe side of the map, especially with a 3-0-1 LeBlanc soon to be roaming.
Luden's Echo is going to help him burst people out. And 2-item threshold is pretty big. And the 3-0-1, he hasn't really grown his lead any more than that. It's just been the turrets they picked up, because that's the big advantage here. Is just TLA, after the lane swap, didn't swap it again. And so they lost out on turret pressure on the top side, and that one still stands as Cloud9 Challenger just have 5 turrets to their name. And gold advantage in every single lane. Every single lane has an advantage for Cloud9 Challenger. TLA don't have one that's saving them just yet.
So far, every game has been decided in the first 15 minutes. The team that gets the first advantage takes the game. And now it's Cloud9 Challenger poised to do the same if they can follow the trend. Team Liquid Academy looking to bucket for the first time in 6 games. They're grouped as 5 now, and with Mountain Drake spawning, Cloud9 Challenger are actually poised near the Baron buff before returning back towards that mid lane. This is a dangerous position with that huge objective on the map.
See how Balls ends up getting into these fights as well, because he's split pushing at the moment, and Hai's going to keep going for the poke pattern as much as he possibly can. But that's going to give them the dragon buff here, the second mountain for TLA. This could be their way back in. If they get this buff, they have a very quick Baron with an Azir.
Solo has Meganar, and he hasn't been spotted yet, not moving too much. Oh, he's waiting. Cloud9 just need to step a little further, but they don't fall for it. Instead, pressuring down the mid lane. Almost textbook to pull Team Liquid Academy away from that Mountain Drake.
Yeah, because if they shove up mid, they get priority onto both Baron and Mountain Drake, whichever one they want. And they've selected the top side of the map. Goes over to, not TLA, goes over to Altec. That's exactly who they wanted on Cloud9 Challenger side, too.
Balls needs a little bit of damage, but they're able to keep themselves sustained with elimination. Piglet's trying to heal up as best he can. Luckily, he's got that Nidalee for a health battery. Another GLP 800. There goes the tidal wave. They're looking to force this. Solo's about to go mega. Moon in the front. Stun is going to eat a lot of damage. Can't ball curl. Finally drops him, but he's already dead. A double kill. Golden Glue is gone. Solo has fallen. A triple kill for Balls. Blows this game wide open.
And that's going to be the Baron as well for Cloud9 Challenger, unless Moon has something to say about it. But Cloud9 have been one of the best teams at stopping the jungler from getting in, because Hai is just going to stop him.
Oh, found
like
it.
that.
Oh, brutal kill.
Hai has been on every side of Summoner's Rift for the most part. I mean, when he's playing jungle, he's like, all right, I got to keep the guy out of the pit. Somebody else do it. He's playing support. He's like, all right, I'm keeping him out of the pit. He's even playing mid, one of the higher damage dealers on the team, and he's just taking it on himself to give his team the confidence. Stunt gets hit, decides not to ball curl, because you can't have both ball curl and... Oh man, he actually hits Hai there and gets the top off, so he's actually quite quick at that, but he's not able to get the ball curl off as he's using the roll, so he doesn't have those defensive stats, and the power ball just locks him out.
And now 26 minutes in, Cloud9 have gone from a mild advantage to complete control of the game. They've already taken most of those outer turrets. The only one, inner turrets, the only one remaining is that mid tier 2. And with that Baron buff, you can't imagine it's going to be long for this world.
Oh, yeah.
Cloud9.
It's a 10,000 gold advantage and also an Infernal Drake.
They are ruthless with this buff.
And both these teams are ruthless with a lead.
Yes.
The first one to get it gets everything. And Cloud9 Challenger got it in this game pretty much from the get-go. I would even say in Champion Select, too.
Hai going to be gifted over that blue buff by Contracts. They're not even worrying about that Mountain Drake, as Altec is going to escort the minion wave towards that bottom inhibitor turret. 27 minutes in, Cloud9 Challenger looking to break an inhibitor and force their way to victory and secure that higher seed spot in the promotion tournament and the North American Challenger Series Finals.
Another turret goes down, and they just keep getting one step closer to, like you were saying, that number 1. And it just looks like TLA are just crumbling right now. This turret will go down in a few more shots here. Hai is content to actually take those shots.
Oh, he does get it. And that's the first inhibitor turret broken. 2 turrets quickly taken. Yet another one about to follow as Altec. Oh man, even dropping the rocket to force the disengage. That's 2 Baron inhibitors with Baron buff. Golden Glue goes for the play onto Altec and finds it with the rest of Team Liquid Academy as Solo chases away elimination.
But they're going to lose the inhibitor in the mid. They're going to get some damage on here. No, actually, they don't lose it here. And they're able to go after the Gangplank.
Oh, they keep chasing. Solo, can't find the ultimate. They drop the AoE. He's forced to kite away from the Cannon Barrage stun. In the front will fall to Hai. Contracts taking some harasses. Piglet zones them away. But Hai is not done yet. He's looking for a way in. All right, maybe he's done.
Okay. He was looking for a way, and then he got hit by Piglet, I believe.
Yeah.
And now running towards the top side. His Cologne actually gets popped as well. Have to clear this wave. And now those exposed inhibitors and TLA sit in the same position that they did in that game 3 with an Azir on their composition, on their team. But he just never got off the ground the same way you would want, especially against LeBlanc that's roaming and finding advantages elsewhere.
It is a 12,000 gold lead off the back of this play. Here's Golden Glue. What a slide! Woo! Oh my god, what range!
I mean, that was a full screen. That was insane. he walked away from his soldier, and it gave Altec a little bit of a sense of comfort, and he's just like, nope, boom! Has him slide all the way down the lane. I believe Stunt gets a taunt there too, so Balls ends up having to walk back, gets obliterated, and then Stunt in turn falls. It's a 2-for-1, and works out for TLA there, but it's one of the very small victories that they're able to take in this game as a whole.
Mountain Drake now picked up by Cloud9 Challenger, gives them a 2-1 Drake lead. I believe that was picked up just after the 29-minute mark. Nope, looks like there is going to be one more Drake, a third Mountain.
Oh boy. A third Mountain for him. But it would be their second one, because they didn't get that first one.
Yeah, for both teams.
Yes, exactly. Balls went for a armor penetration build, so he will also be hitting turrets a little bit harder since armor penetration now affects them.
Sundisk on that inhibitor. Keep it defended. Someone will have to answer Balls eventually, but Cloud9 Challenger is setting up a 3-1-1 split push. High, looking for harass, looking for an undefended carry to destroy.
Yep. Piglet's kind of right in front of him.
Solo actually tosses Balls back, clears out the barrel with an auto. Balls goes down to Team Liquid Academy. However, Altec is on the inhibitor on the far side. Doesn't quite have enough to drop it, though.
Yeah, can't get that turret.
Again, Team Liquid Academy find them a pick that alleviates the pressure from Cloud9 Challenger. High, oh, looks for it, but he's on top of a ward. Gets some damage before hopping away. True Shot Barrage misses.
Moon's looking for it. Oh, nope, he's actually going to back off because the pressure from Altec. Altec's going to get the top turret while everybody's just scrambling around for these kills on TLA.
Yeah, Stunt is looking for a way in. Moon will be able to get the smite. However, Altec, with no one to answer him, he's going to take the inhib turret, and that's Solo falling apart. Not quite able to find a way out of his own jungle, will fall.
Yeah, and these are all exposed inhibitors now. No way to find out of his jungle there. But now TLA backs against the walls pretty heavily here.
They're trying to hold on. Teleport now from Balls to bring the minion wave in. Altec and Contracts lead the charge. Piglet tries to get some poke, but the first inhibitor falls. High is working on the second, and Cloud9 are just going to swing from 1 to 2 to 3. Piglet eats some damage. High gets caught by the taunt. Is he going to be able to get out with his life? He does indeed, and they manage to get the kill on top of Stunt. Solo just now going to respawn. There's a lot of AoE being tossed. Golden Glue, oh, misses the slide on the way in. Just repositions. High tries to hop forward. Moon hops out of the back. Contracts is able to get a kill with Altec. They chase onto Moon. He's still alive. And Piglet, though, goes in. He's looking for it. Gets the shutdown. 3 kills for Piglet. Oh, my God. Is he going to try to turn this around? He's got a hell of a work cut out for him. Contracts tries to kite him out, flashes forward to look for Altec, but he can't quite find it. Solo will get Altec, and Piglet has killed enough of them. They have managed to keep themselves alive with that last inhibitor. Oh my God, Piglet.
He still wants him.
He's chasing. He needs one more.
The autos.
One more. An ace for Piglet. 32 minutes in, 2 inhibitors down, and Team Liquid Academy are still breathing.
The unofficial quadra. Right now, this game is absolutely insane. Baron up in 15 seconds. They'll be able to get this before Contracts is even up, but they need Piglet there, but their base is in shambles. This is a tense moment right here. The jump back in as well from High to pick off Golden Glue. Golden Glue wanted to go further than that. I feel like he wanted to engage, but gets blown up. Knock up there from Contracts, and Piglet's on the backside. They're all paying attention to the guys on the left. Picks up 3, gets the unofficial quadra, and then is able to just chase them out. You can see in your bottom left, they do secure Baron, but Piglet...
Oh, Stunt gets left behind.
Yep. Stunt.
He will go down. The Baron secured by Team Liquid Academy. Golden Glue was left behind to defend the base, and Team Liquid Academy, 10,000 gold deficit. 2 inhibitors down. Have got that Baron buff despite the super minions pressing into their base.
It will still stall them.
It's still 5 versus 4 though, and Cloud9 Challenger will not let this time, or not sit this time idly. Team Liquid Academy have got the Herculean task of upsetting something that has not been changed in 6 games.
The alternating of wins. They want to change the flow of this entire matchup and take one for themselves on an off game, and it has been an off game for them.
Oh yeah.
It's almost as if fate is making it so that they're behind again and they're wrestling against it.
I However, that last inhibitor is the target for Cloud9 Challenger. Stunt has respawned.
Oh my god. Piglet is 100 CS down, but he's 9-0-1. Like, he is playing his damnedest in this entire series.
Oh yeah.
But he's been camped by everybody when there's like a Shen. He's been playing it with a support that's off meta and suffering from it, but he's picking up kills in the fights. And then they've been able to play around him in one game. And if they're able to play around him again and he's able to lead his team to victory here, that would be an insane performance.
And here comes Cloud9. High, split pushing in the top lane, looking for a vulnerability. He's going to have to pull some attention as those super minions get pulled in. The rest of Cloud9 looking for the inhibitor, though. Golden Glue might be hoping for another big Azir Sec play. That inhibitor untouched as of yet as the minion waves are getting cleared wave after wave. Team Liquid Academy are holding on, fighting tooth and nail to keep themselves in this.
Every time they do, though, it's already too little too late, and the game is in their base.
Flash on by Golden Glue to escape the cannon barrage. Here comes the rest of Cloud9 looking for the inhibitor. They're getting some chip damage onto it. High gets solo down to half.
Below half.
Oh, Pulse goes low.
Pulse.
Oh, the spear tosses. Stunt looks to chase. Moon following up as well. High will scare them away, though.
High gets chunked out, though, as well. So at that point, I feel like that's a TLA win because they buy time.
They've got to get some health, though. Here comes High once again, looking for solo. Doesn't find the follow-up on the Sigil. Alltech trying to drop the inhibitor. Doesn't quite have enough. Piglet, he actually shifts forward. Oh, Golden Glue trying to get some more harass. The minions are cleaning up, however. Inhibitor down to 800 health. And Team Liquid Academy are defending.
Here comes High. Is High trying to pick it up?
No, just
500?
pops away.
He tried to test it, but that's going to be Mountain Drake as well, going over Cloud9 Challenger.
And the inhibitors are up in 15 seconds. Team Liquid Academy have done it. They have held out against these super minions. They have held out against Cloud9 Challenger's siege. And finally, they get a new lease on life in this game, in this series. An opportunity to try to get themselves back in. 9,000, 10,000 gold behind. And they manage to defend.
And this has to be one of the most stressful situations for TLA ever. You have spent so much time, so much effort, so much of your mental ability, mental endurance to get to this point in the best of 5. And you don't want it to be ruined by a mistake that happened over 36 minutes ago.
Team Liquid Academy are holding on for dear life. And Cloud9 Challenger trying to break it. The game is getting later and later. That Azir is getting bigger and bigger. Piglet, as you said, 9-0-1. Absolutely enormous right now.
If you get to 6 items, then it doesn't matter what the gold difference is. And TLA, they have the tools to get there. They've only taken 1 turret in the entire game.
We've said it time and again. It comes down to teamwork and team comp. And so far, Team Liquid are showing, hey, even despite the team comp, we can bring it in the teamwork. High split pushing, and so too is Balls. They're going to try to put some pressure. Team Liquid Academy grouped up as 5 in the mid lane.
They might catch him. They have a Rammus, but I don't know.
Powerball races forward. True Shot Barrage misses. They're going to have to try to defend from multiple lanes at once. Piglet manages to clear out the minion wave, but Cloud9 Challenger will begin their assault anew.
They're dealing with the disc in the middle.
They get some
Stun's going
damage.
to go after High.
Flash. Traded for Flash. Lightning reflexes.
He got his flash
alive.
I feel like if you get the mid laner's flash for your support flash, worth every single time.
Piglet doesn't have anything to keep him alive. Oh my god, that Sigil. Can you imagine if there was more?
He would be dead. Oh, if there was more.
Oh my gosh, that was the distortion. It's about to come off cooldown. Bubble catches Piglet. Oh my god, and the cannon barrage. He goes down 9-1-1, his first death. High continues to chase forward. Moon at low health. Emperor's Divide knocks High back. He's still alive, however. Golden Glue not able to follow up. Alltech will clean it up. That's 3 members of Team Liquid Academy dead. It came down to the outplay, and High had it. Lemonation dropped the bubble and secured the game, secured the series, and secured the North American Challenger Series finals as they take the Nexus and defeat Team Liquid Academy in Game 5.
Elimination with the bubble there. Piglet didn't have the reaction. He had Flash, and it came down to that. That's his only death of the game. And Cloud9 Challenger take it home. They get first place. They skip that elimination match, and they make it to the double elim portion, and they send TLA to a very tense match against whoever ends up 10th place. But both these teams are so evenly matched that whether you're the 10th place team or the 9th place team or the 8th place team in the NALCS,
You gotta be sweating.
gotta be sweating a little bit about that.
Yeah. Very impressive play from Cloud9, showing that they still have the macro play. They have the ability to play patience. They didn't greed for the kill. They didn't greed for the end of the game. They took their time to secure the win. And Team Liquid Academy, with all of the odds stacked against them, were able to keep pace and almost looked poised to turn that series back.
All right, game 6, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
Best
go.
of 7.
back and forth between both of these teams. Absolutely delightful series. I think they both played incredibly well, but every other game
Yeah, exactly.
for each other. But it just showed that they know how to snowball their leads. They know that when they get a 2K gold advantage, that's the advantage they need to group up with and get even more. And it like honestly, without fail, happened every single game.
Yeah, very back and forth series, and just speaks to how evenly matched these two teams are. Just neck and neck, blow for blow, trading it back. And Team Liquid Academy, unfortunately, were not able to close out the series. And Cloud9 Challenger showing, hey, we can take the wins.
Yeah, it's honestly a little strange because this was the expected result. A lot of people were like, Cloud9 Challenger and Team Liquid Academy are going to be the two teams that are in the finals. And then they're like, and Cloud9 Challenger is going to win it. But it was much closer than people anticipated.
Yeah.
I feel like the members of TLA did show that they can keep in tow with the best in Challenger, and they honestly like make me want to see a game 6 and 7. It's fun. I don't know if I've said that about anything except for like SKT versus EDG at MSI. It's one of those. It's like this made me want to see more of these two teams play each other. But honestly, overall, I feel like both of them can walk away and say, there's a lot of great takeaways from this, both positive and negative for our teams, and they can work on those things as they move towards the promotion tournament.
Exactly, and they have secured that promotion tournament spot. The course of this match was to determine the NA Challenger Series winners and finalists, but also the seeding for that promotion tournament. And as we said, those teams already making it into that, looking very solid. Now we're going to go ahead and head to the stage where